about 33 now. It's the 8th day now. Oh, 8th day. Yes, it is the 8th day. 8th day of June 2023. Let's check it with the headlines as we have them for today.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I'm ready. Let's take on.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Info Abuja and on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. Those two will do fine if you're checking in to stream the show this very morning. Well, do you remember the stories that I'm about to read out for you? The headlines have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers. And we on Nigeria Info are only informing you of the headlines as we have them for today.
This is Morning Crossfire.
Let's take a look at stories as we have them from the likes of Leadership, Daily Trust, Vanguard, Punch, and the Guardian newspaper for today. Now, taking a look at the Leadership newspaper for today, you find governors back Tinubu on fuel subsidy removal. You can't prevent manage hypertension, diabetes through nutrition. Then there's also the story about internet access now available to 150 million Nigerians, says Dambata. Federal government to incur 2 trillion naira liabilities as Senate passes police pension bill. Ninth House passed 510 bills, 2,000 motions in 4 years, says Bajabiamila. Tribunal admits final election results as exhibit. It obeys petition. Akuma sworn in as AGF pledges commitment. All right, let's keep up with other stories. I know this very morning that you want to read about ex-minister Lai Mohammed gets new appointment. All right, just to follow through because I know people will be wondering what's that about. Well, it joins, it takes on a new role as a managing partner for Ballard Partners, an international lobbying firm. They're known for their renowned government relations and the likes of that, the best in the United States, okay? But they have offices in Abuja, Nigeria. So, well, for those who are wondering about that, that's the detail around it. Moving on now, fuel subsidy. Chevron strike was right decision, Odua Group tells Labour. 106 Northwest, North Central members elect endorse Abbas and Kalu for Speaker and Deputy. Delta, and then Delta State. Now, don't neglect oil producing areas. Community leader tells Governor Obovowori. And then Pro-Tinubu Group task federal government on cushioning effects of subsidy removal. And then you can also read up more about all the stories as we have it there. PDP asks IGP, DSS to investigate attack at Ogun Election Tribunal. Okay, that was, I think that was from yesterday. Well, moving on to Daily Trust now. Overcrowding. NACON restricts pilgrims to 5 days in Medina. Why Buhari might stay in Daura after 6 months. Subsidy remover. Filling stations record low sales as governors back Tinubu. Adebutu accuses IGP of shielding Governor Abiodun from vote buying and electoral violence probe. Federal government to privatize 3 national parks. Boy killed after stealing from demolished Kano structures. Obi Labour Party tender final result at Presidential Tribunal. Federal government to incur additional 2 trillion naira liabilities as Senate passes police pension bill. Tinubu asks Shetima to lead dialogue on cushioning effects of subsidy. Other stories of interest this very morning. United Nigeria Airlines to acquire 12 new aircraft for route expansion. Federal government moves to harmonize trade by treaty with Netherlands. Probe MDA's orders to implement renewed hope agenda. Supporters urge Tinubu. Police seal Nasarawa Assembly Complex as leadership crisis deepens. Uzodimma drops deputy as INEC lists 17 candidates for Imo governorship election. Katsina Governor louds Gbajabiamila and Akume's appointments. All right, well, these are stories from Daily Trust, okay? Let's move on to Vanguard. Subsidy remover. Tinubu directs NEC to work on palliatives. Presidential poll disputes 5 INEC ad hoc staff to testify against Tinubu and APC. Unpaid gratuities, pensions, salaries choke states. Subsidy remover. Tinubu directs NEC to work on palliatives. Our expectations from judiciary executive under new government. 10th National Assembly on ease calm as Tinubu fails to unveil Akpabio and Abbas. Then of interest as well this very morning, after meeting Tinubu, oil marketers declare support for fuel subsidy removal. Aregbesola blames devil for rift with Oyetola, seeks forgiveness. Femi Gbajabiamila dissolves 9th Assembly. Other stories, Adebutu says IGP suppressing investigation against Abiodun on vote buying and election violence. Indian train resumes after deadly crash. Fuel subsidy remover, Edo civil servants to work for 3 days a week. Other stories of interest, U.S. delegation for Tinubu's inauguration. Oh, this must really be old, okay? Moving past that now. Okay, just looking through all this now. Just not so much to talk about, but you want to read more about some stories in Vanguard. MBS upgrades Nigeria's tax to GDP ratio to 10.86%. That's according to the MBS. Nigeria loses 150 billion naira to gas flaring in 4 months. All right, well, those are stories from the Vanguard. Now to the Punch. Lagos to promote 4,000 civil servants. Need the bill. Multiple regulations, taxation, fears, grips, telecos. Is God talking to Wizkid about artificial intelligence? Southern Kaduna Group rejects prescription by El Rufai. I will ensure smooth Tinubu National Assembly relationship, says Gbajabiamila. Customs uncover 25 duty evading factories in Lagos. Court admits final results in Labour Party and Obi's petition. Boss Mustafa hands over to SGF documents to Akume. FGF documents to Akume. Adebutu asks police to probe Abiodun over vote buying allegation. Bolt, Uber, other ride-hailing drivers begin nationwide strike. Ogun police parade 40 suspected cultists and others. Students lament as Yola Disco throws Unimaid into darkness. Delta cops arrest robbery suspect on motorcycle. 19 Edo internet fraudsters back jail terms for fit cars. Police hunt kidnappers of Adamawa High Court judge's wife. Police arraign man for defiling stepdaughter in church. Syria armed robbers bag 15 years jail term. That's there. Flood threatens Lagos community as contractor abandons drainage projects. Moving on to the Guardian for today. Bauchi governor approves employment of 1,480 workers 8 years after. Again, Kogi PDP suffers setback as stakeholders defect to APC. Why South should produce next Senate president by Wike. Uproar over NNPC's sleazy $25.9 billion oil swap and 13.9 trillion naira subsidy payment. Oil refinery investors seek support for federal government subsidy removal. Subsidy remover, Tinubu meets oil marketers, directs NEC on interventions. All right, well, these are big stories you want to follow through on. Niger governor to mark 100 days in office with Green Economy Summit. Atiku laments inability to assess INEC materials after paying 6.69 million to commission. Abia factory rescued inmates test HIV positive. Another delivers baby. Proposed flyover. Anambra government orders demolition of structures on the right of way. Laman scores 9th National Assembly high in performance, cites 112 signed bills. All right, well, these are stories, as you can see, if you choose to go through the paper, The Guardian for today. Well, those stories are there for you to read more about them. Okay, well, there's also the part, one other story from The Guardian. Ignore El Rufai is seeking attention. Khan tells Nigerians. Ensure your appointment reflects merit, diversity. Khan clerics advise Tinubu. Tinubu speaks with EU president on tackling poverty, insecurity, meets NGF. All right, well, these are big stories, as you can find them across the papers for today. Do remember, the stories have been published based on the editorial guide of various publishers, and we on Nigeria Info have only informed you of the headlines as we have them for today.
This is Morning Crossfire.
All right, then let's take on your calls this very morning via the phone lines and other portals. The lines remain 0700-951-0000. You can also join in on 080-9597-4869. Okay? And on WhatsApp, it's 080-999-30137. Okay? Do remember, as you call in to follow through with our editorial guide, your calls need to be devoid of hateful speech, lies, fake news, and abuses. We ask of you to be truthful and factual as you share with us on Nigeria Info. We plead with you to keep your emotions in check as you also make your contributions known through all our portals.
This is Morning Crossfire.
Watch your number one talk station of the nation. Nigeria Info every day of the week, Mondays to Friday on YouTube to catch up with the Morning Crossfire.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
A very good morning to you and welcome to the show. Good morning. How are you today? Oh, I can barely hear you, though. Do you mind speaking up, please?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now. What's your name?
My name is Bernard.
Bernard. Okay, welcome.
I want to comment on the Rufai's speech.
All right, then.
I want to advise on all the Christians in Nigeria that if you follow what the Lord says, we should not follow what they say, so that the country will be united. That is my prayer.
All right.
That's my case.
Okay. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dr. Femi D. Amelie. How are you? How are your loved ones?
We're fine. They are managing us like that.
How are you coping with the chilling night over the rainfall?
Well, it's cold, and that's a good thing in the middle of the very heated situation we find ourselves socioeconomic wise. But thanks for asking.
It's a needed relief from heat days. My name is Abakar calling you from Gwagwalada. Please, I want to be educated. What do oil marketer, what are their functions, please? Yes.
Okay. It's a large. Yes. Go on.
They take our crude oil outside, refine it, and bring back to us. Why do these oil marketers not be granted modular refinery licenses so that we can refine our? If it is not a business that even a lot of people make money, out of our hardship and suffering. If I'm ignorant, please correct me, please. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for your piece. Well, at least we'll count it as your opinion on that. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Femi.
Yes, good morning. Glad you joined in.
Yeah, this is Mr. Apollo from Bali.
All right, then.
Hello?
Yes, where with you?
Yeah. Ignore Erufai, especially relevant, can't tell Christians. It's a lie. Erufai be talking tough against Christians. I'm afraid that this man, I don't know, Erufai is not ashamed that Muslims are destroying Nigeria. It's not ashamed. Because it's not see what's happening in Nigeria.
And I think the wise thing to do is really to ignore him. Because I don't think it's good for us to start doing religious division right now and saying it's Muslim thing, Christian thing. I don't think we should go down that low.
Erufai is
Okay, before you say the next thing you want to say that I suspect would mean something more than we would all be bearing with, please, let's all ignore. I would even advise that we do ignore that as well. I just don't think, I think it's very belittling. How else do I express this? I kind of said it all. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Because sometimes you don't go as low as people choose to go. Good morning.
Hi, Doctor. Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Welcome.
Okay, we didn't hear from you. I hope you are okay.
I'm here.
My name is Mommy Z. All right, there. Doctor, please, is this subsidy remover or hike in price? Because if the money paid for subsidy elapses this month end, I don't think they will sell fuel for 500 plus from July. I'm only asking you, you educate us and I want to learn. That is one. Secondly, Doctor, the president said a group should look into the issue of palliative. My dear brother, transportation is a major problem. The cost of transportation is nothing or something to write home about. A lot of people have parked their vehicle.
Are you there? What would you? What would you, madam? Hello? Mommy Z? Okay, looks like a line is not staying true. Okay, let's take on other calls, okay? Good morning to you. Welcome. Yes, glad you joined in. Welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, my name is KGB.
All right, welcome.
Yes, but let me see. Ignoring Erufai is not equal.
I know it's not.
It's not
Sometimes to ignore someone doesn't mean that you don't have something to say. That's the truth.
but he has touched security. He has touched anything called security breach with his utterances, with what he has been doing. So if you ignore such, how many will you ignore? How many have you ignored? No. They are trying to tell us that somebody is anything or above anything.
It's not so much about what the person is or is become. If the person chooses to bring himself to a position where considerably it's a low profile situation, you don't wrestle. You don't bother wrestling. You just ignore. It's not because you don't have anything to say or no action to say or to do. Yes, you just ignore. It's the highest form of expression when somebody looks like they lost their way or they're really not worth the while or they really are divisive in their thinking. And there are many other words I could use to describe what he did with that video that many of you do know. It's just not worth the while. Trust me. It's just not worth the while. I think strongly to create more tension, and the few people that we're all battling with socioeconomic issues than to start battling on behalf of God or on behalf of religion, especially if somebody was very myopic in his choice of words. So it's not as if I'm trying to say, let's not. It's not worth the while. It is not worth the while. Just ignore him for your own peace of mind, please. Trust me, there are many other words I could use about that. No one would expect that from such a leader.
We understand you very clearly. We understand you very clearly.
Yeah.
Thank you much.
Thank you, brother. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Femi.
Yes, sir.
My name is Celestine. I'm calling from Baxter Day.
Okay, welcome.
I want to speak on the election tribunal.
Oh boy. Okay, that is stay true. All right, let's give this a try. Good morning to you. And this one, let's see about this. Good morning. Yes. Welcome. Okay, you will need to speak up, sir.
This is Donatus calling from the whole thing.
Okay, from Sabo will say yes.
I think the best way to go in this area is for somebody from not outside, the prominent man to condemn that statement. That is just the best way to go about it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Just to say to you, you would listen as we go on during the course of the show. The president did meet with the oil marketers over subsidy removal. It will be interesting for you to listen to their response and the response of the government delegation that did lead around that. And the oil marketers, they're reasoning. It's about a 30 minutes long clip, what is worth listening to. Let's even see the faces, like somebody would say, of the people marketing on the oil in the country on our behalf or on behalf of whoever they're marketing on with regards to that. So let's stay close. But I really, really need to go. Just to say this, let me read some messages. Good morning, FMD. Thank you for the good job. We need a better Nigeria. Atuya Yegbe writes that in. Oludade Abiodun says, good morning, FMD. Adi Sirika and his court must not go unpunished. As a Nigerian, I'm pleading with Mr. President to probe him and others. I brought about this question of probing yesterday. Do you think there's something to probe to look into? What the while? Maybe not. We'll find out from you during the course of the day. But I've got to step away briefly for the news to take up. Immediately after the news, I'll be back and we'll take some more calls and, of course, your viewpoints on other issues. Stay with us on Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
In Nigeria, and we don't even have up to 1 megawatt of power generation coming from solar in our power mix. We are in the tropics, we have lots of sunlight, we have more advantages with the sun than countries in Europe who are currently doing so much of power generation with solar. I think it's hard time we woke up. We cannot continue paying lip service to issues around power. We all need power in our homes, offices, business outfits, and so on. This is no longer sustainable with diesel and generators. Of course, we see how much the diesel costs. We must go solar. We must embrace our God-given advantage. Inverters and solar should be in every home. Now, at Solar World Electric Technology Limited, we are offering you highly improved products and unparalleled services with our inverters, batteries, and solar systems. Now, I invite you to visit our office at the basement, the Silverbed Entertainment Center, Central Business District here in Abuja. Or you can visit our website, that's www.solarworldes.com, and see all the options that we have available. You can call our sales line, by the way, which is open 24 hours of the day. It's 0906 331 5492. That's 0906 331 5492. Solar World Electric Technology Limited, redefining the limits.
The politics of our nation.
They have that right to protest. There is no need to go there now start shooting.
The current affairs of our state.
Everywhere we have gone to, the dirt of Abuja is not on the surface.
All at your fingertips on your Let's Talk station.
95.1 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Stay on track with Nigeria Info.
And PFN, the Stone Bishops.
Talking about Mourinho and AS Roma. Paulo Dybala has joined forces with Mourinho.
And then so the aviation workers also want to join the strike.
Your access to all the top stories and more.
95.1.
Let's talk.
Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Every hustler getting paid. Where the hustle go come to pay. Your own in no go take. Amen. If you don't find work, do your own. God self go do his own. And flesh go cover bone. Amen. Amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. 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 Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Sister where one man sees until where they find begin. One day you go born twins. Amen. Amen. They're not where don't losing job. Landlord come they do like God. One day you go be landlord. Amen. Amen. Good news go locate you. Watch and see it no go take. If you believe it, say amen. No. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen.
We must not play politics with security.
Let's talk about the biggest conversations.
Made of trustworthy ideas.
Passionately connected.
To everyone.
Let's talk.
Let's talk on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja.
Nigeria Info. Let's talk on 95.1
Nigeria Info
Abuja.
Sign the check, oh. You self go drive that Benz, oh. This life go still make sense, oh. Amen. Your children go make you.
Good morning and thank you for staying with 95.1 Nigeria Info. To the news headlines. Oil marketers back removal of fuel subsidy. Governors meet President Tinubu express support on subsidy of their policies. Senate holds valedictory session on Saturday. Mike Pence tears into Donald Trump at 2024 campaign launch. Nigeria is our only country. Be patriotic and avoid divisive tendencies. Good morning. My name is Bivan Magoni with the news in detail. Major oil marketers and distributors have pledged their full support over the removal of fuel subsidy. The marketers voiced their support on Wednesday during a court visit to President Bola Tinubu. Speaking on their behalf, the chairman of the Depots and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mrs. Winifred Akpani, expressed belief that Nigerians will begin to feel the